It's only 100 degrees today here in Charlotte, North Carolina, but welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Today we are back at CES Motorsport and we're gonna be taking a look at a new car that my friend Caesar over at Alta Auto Group picked up from auction. It is a Mark V Supra with the Street Hunter wide body kit on it. It's got a crazy, insane chassis mounted wing. It's got a bunch of stuff done to it. It's got nitrous, a pure turbo, we think EcuTech, port injection, all kinds of bolt-ons. But when Caesar bought it, the tune on it just didn't feel quite right. So they brought it over to CES Motorsport and they're gonna put it on the dyno and do some testing and just make sure that everything is running good and probably end up retuning the car. But before they get their hands on it, I'm gonna take this thing out for a little spin, do a little bit of a review on it because it's a crazy car. It's wrapped in this really cool blue. The steering wheel is pink. The original color of the car is in fact red. I actually probably would have just left it red. But let's head inside, you guys. I'm gonna show you the car and talk about what's going on in the shop. It's gonna be a fun one. So we got street car takeover coming up here this weekend, so everybody it's crunch time, getting all the cars ready for racing. Here is the pretty wild looking Mark V Supra. Now I'm pretty sure that this was owned by some sort of, I don't know, like a YouTuber or influencer or something.
A lot of you guys been asking about the Supra. It's back. It was getting a whole... Dude, you guys have to see this. Look how fucking insane this color is. We've got my brand on the side. We've got the Hype logo instead of the Toyota one. And if you look up, it says demonetized on the wing. This is a Nazatex Maritime Blue. I've never seen it on a Supra. Actually, I haven't seen it on a car yet. It's so sick.
Basically, this car came in from Alta Auto Group, like I said. Caesar over there bought it off of auction, and it's just got a bunch of stuff on it, but it isn't quite running right. So they brought it over here to CES Motorsport. They have these guys take a look at it, see exactly what is on the car, retune it, get it on the dyno, make the thing driving good. But we'll just do a quick overview of what's going on. First of all, you have this insane chassis mounted wing. I mean, and you guys clown on me for having a big wing on my GTS. Come on, bro. Not really my style, but it is pretty cool if you're doing like a crazy show car or something like that. This is actually my first time seeing the Street Hunter wide body kit from TJ Hunt's company in person, and it looks pretty good. I think that the install could have been done much better. You know, anytime that you have these wide body kits, they never really fit quite right. It takes a lot of body work to actually have a wide body done the correct way and make it look good, but you'll get things, you know, weird body panel gaps, strange gaps down here in between the fenders and the actual body itself. Just stuff like that, you know, if you have a quality body shop, they're gonna do a much better job. So this car is in fact wrapped right now. I'm not sure what the color is. It almost looks like Maritime Blue by Nazatex. It's really not a bad color, but in my preference, I probably would have just stuck with the red. I think this car would have looked really good in the red. Wheels, yeah, not really my thing, but you know, for this type of car, like for what they're going for, I get it. It makes sense. White wheels, crazy big wing. It's just one of those cars that's gonna kind of grab your attention no matter what. I think that was sort of the purpose of this entire build. But I will say, for a car being this crazy with all the aesthetics and cosmetics that are done to it, does actually have some pretty cool power stuff installed on it. One crazy thing about this wing, you actually can't even open up the trunk with this wing. You have to take off the entire wing in order to open the trunk. Not sure how I would feel about that. So this is where things get strange. There's a lot of clash going on. Caesar's probably gonna end up changing some things before he keeps this or sells it or whatever he does with it. But man, I wish I could have just, you know, had my hands on this thing when it was first getting built. Would have done it much differently, obviously, but it could have turned out pretty clean. So you've got the pink LED steering wheel, which is pretty crazy. It does have a, let me see if I can see it. There's a bottle in the back, nitrous bottle. So this car does have nitrous in it. We'll go ahead and pop the hood and show you guys what's going on in the engine bay before we take this thing out for a little spin. So all of the basic bolt-ons are there, of course. This car does have port injection. It is, of course, running nitrous. See the solenoids up here. And then it looks like it's either got a pure 800 or a pure 850 turbo on it. I can't quite tell, but it's definitely some sort of pure turbo. It has a full exhaust system, and then in addition to that, obviously it has catless downpipes and everything. It is extremely loud, and I think this is on EcuTech. They don't know which tune exactly it's on, but they're going to figure it out and probably just retune the whole thing with you know, Payne or Body or someone from EcuTech just to keep it in the same realm. It's gonna be an interesting little ride along. I'm gonna show you guys what else is going on in the shop. This is a single turbo S55 build. You guys can follow him online, Osama bin Gappin. I love that name. But he recently just wrapped it in this crazy midnight purple. I think this is a Nosatec film. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, this is one of the single S55 turbo kits that they have going on here. It gets busy down in the S55 when you go single turbo, man. There's not a lot of room for much, but they are fixing this thing up and getting it ready for tomorrow to race. And then you got Jose's M4 over here. Jose recently also went single turbo on his build. A few things that they're working on. This is now the home for all of the single turbo S55s. Everyone's doing it. Everybody's doing it. These guys are trying to make me do it too. His build is crazy. I've had him on the channel a few times. Insane BBS's. Got the new brakes on too. This car's nuts. Just such a cool build. I got an F80 M3 over here, and this is getting a fully built motor put in right now. They're doing all the wires for the Motive Reflex as well, and they're gonna get that thing running. And then we've got Heritage back. You guys know him. He's been on the channel before. Finishing up tuning with this car. He's also going to be running at Streetcar Takeover this weekend. He's still running the 2 turbos, and he's on I believe an F80 Paul tune still, but he's got a few extra additions, so he's going to be out there running this car as well. I think they're making around 780 horsepower or something to the wheels. Take a look. They're trying to pull back the torque right now because it's a little hot. Yeah, so here we go. He's making 771 wheel horsepower and 740, 715 torque. They were trying to bring back the torque a little bit, keep it a little bit more level-headed. You know, you don't want to run too much torque in these cars or you will blow a motor. So we'll see him out there tomorrow too. Lots of cool builds in the shop right now, man. This is just a day in the life here. It's always something going on. Oh, there's my beautiful E30 out there getting zero love. Poor girl. Soon. Anyways, let's go for a little ride in this car. I'm excited to check it out. I haven't been in a Supra in a while. This one's got a bunch of shit done to it. I don't know how it's gonna drive because of the current tune, but yeah, we'll have a little bit of fun. All right, guys, so we are in the wide body Supra. Now, this car does have a couple of codes thrown up, so I don't know how crazy we're actually gonna be able to go with the car, which I'm not really trying to go crazy anyways. But I feel so familiar being back in a Supra. Like I said before, this is my first time seeing the Street Hunter kit in person on a car, and it looks really good. I actually like this kit a lot. It's just that, you know, you have to spend the time and money to have the kit put on and all of the bodywork done the right way. Like, that really makes the difference when, you know, doing a wide body kit on the car. You can tell that this person sort of just bought the kit and slapped it on the car. But nonetheless, this is obviously a car that was built for attention. You can tell. Definitely the pure turbo. I'm wondering if that's an 850. It sounds like an 850. You can feel the added weight onto this car with the wing and like the wide body kit and these ginormous wheels. It really feels like a tank. Like, this car is just not really meant to have all of this stuff on it. Dude, that's crazy. That's only like 20% throttle. So there's a bunch of stuff that CES is gonna have to go through with this car. It just doesn't quite drive right. It's got a bunch of errors thrown up. It's got a chassis code. It's got a differential lock code. You know, what kind of tune was on the car. We know it's EcuTac, but we don't know, you know, what was it, a pump gas tune? Was it a full ethanol tune? The car does have port, so I'm assuming it's running some sort of E-blend tune, or was. Might be a flex tune. We don't know. This thing is loud, dude. Super loud. How much do you guys love this pink steering wheel? Should I put one in the GTS? Go pink? You can definitely tell that the performance and handling wasn't the priority when building this car, because it's running these massive spacers with these wheels that just don't suit the car in terms of quality. I mean, these are super heavy wheels, and you can just feel the way that the car is tremlining, that like the tire and wheel setup is not good for this car. There's definitely things when, you know, you're building out a wide body kit car, like if you look at my friend M2 Ghost, the way that he built that car, it's wide, but it performs really well. He actually tracks that car all of the time. Sometimes when people go down that road of doing wide body kits, they don't really bear in mind, you know, what is the car going to drive like? How do we actually make it drive good and not like a, you know, wide body car with crazy spacers and incorrect offsets and stupid wide wheels with weird tires and stretch and all that stuff. Oh man, that is crazy. The turbo does sound really good though, I will say that. I'm curious to see what this thing is like once it's actually tuned correctly. Yeah, it's definitely not making the power it should. This feels less than 500 wheel horsepower. Less, for sure. So it definitely doesn't have the right tune on it, or it's just something's up. So I think when we get back to CES here, they're going to throw it up on the lift, take a look at some things to see what we got, and then find out who the tuner is and kind of go from there. Sounds good though. It's almost faster when I don't floor it. This car is just grabbing every divot in the road, every line, every slant. It trem lines so badly. And for a car that, you know, is built to have that much power or speed, I would not want to have a wheel and tire setup like this, because I can't imagine going 130 miles an hour. This thing has to be incredibly unstable and just not safe to drive. Not that I'm like shitting on the build or anything, but you know, it's just some people when they build these cars, they should always be thinking about performance and always be thinking about drivability, and then make the exterior parts, the wide body, tires, wheels, all of that fit with the drivability and streetability in mind. That has got to be the most important part when building a car. Turbo sounds really good. It's got to be an 850, man. This has got to be a pure 850. I don't remember my pure 800 being that loud. Yeah, the tune's definitely not there, man. Whatever's going on with this tune, that ain't it. It looks pretty cool though, man. Like, just a couple of things like that I would change. Well, not a couple. I'd change quite a few things, but if I had it my way and I built this car the way that I'd want it to look, I think I could make this thing look pretty badass. Like if I just did it the right way and redid all of the body kit, redid all of the body work, and put the seam sealer in and made sure everything fit well, and then took off that wing and put on, you know, like the Street Hunter wing, I think, which looks a lot better for these cars. Did a really nice set of wheels, like maybe some LMs or something. This car could be one shucksy shun of a beach. Static suspension on a wide body kit. You can do that. You can definitely run coils. It's got to have coils on it, at the very least, right? What do y'all think? It's a vibe, right? Put this in the GTS? Oh man. What's killing me is the blue, the red, and then the pink. Oh buddy, what a combo. I do like the design of the kit though. I will say that this Street Hunter wide body kit is a good looking kit in my opinion. With the correct wing and everything, it does look pretty badass, or even without a wing. So yeah, the wheel and tire setup is really strange on this car. And there's just like things, like you can tell corners were cut literally. I don't think there's any seam sealer in there. So it's like stuff like that just can't cut corners on wide body kits, man. Like they've got to be done correctly. And I can't really tell what springs are on the car. I think it's just running springs. I don't even think it has coils on it. All right, rolling back to the shop now with my pretty pink steering wheel. The guys at CES are gonna throw this thing on the lift and diagnose it, kind of see what it's got going on in terms of modifications, and then obviously throw it on the dyno and do the whole tuning session. And what we're gonna do is, this is sort of gonna be a two-part video. You guys are obviously seeing the first one now, and then once they finish the car, we will do another video kind of wrapping up you know, what was addressed, and we'll do another ride along and show you guys the difference in how this car drives. Right now, it is definitely underpowered. I mean, this thing feels like under 500 wheel horsepower, which, you know, with all of the modifications it's making, should be well into the 6s, if not 7s with nitrous. So we don't even know if this thing has built axles or if it has, you know, pure transmission on it. We don't know anything about the car. So we will find out a little bit more information here in a minute. And if they can get it up on the lift now, then I'll show you guys some of that footage. If not, we'll wait until next time. But yeah, pretty crazy car, man. Even crazier steering wheel.